Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be looking at how we'll be researching different energy devices to help decide what's the best way to help our rescue team. So today I'm going to be breaking down how we're going to be selecting an energy device to research in the next set of tasks, and how we're going to be using our active reading skills to annotate and read the articles so we can best decide how to help our teams. So in the next set of tasks, you're going to be working with your group to research 4 different devices, and each member of your group is going to be responsible for that device and what that device is. So you'll be selecting based on who is in your group today. If you're somebody who is absent or alone, then you'll have to complete the readings for all of the articles. So please be aware of that. Once in the article, we're going to read through and we're going to do our annotations. We'll have our 3 summary questions based on those annotations. And then you're going to be in charge of reporting back to your group as the expert for that device. There are 4 devices we're going to be looking at. One is the energy capturing backpack, the energy capturing bike, the energy capturing knee brace, and the energy capturing rocking chair, where you're going to have to, like I said, report back to your group and help them collect data on how that device works. Now, in order to become an expert on the device, we're going to be diving into the articles that we see here in task 6. We have our 4 articles shown there. And when we're in the articles, we need to utilize those active reading skills. So we know that when scientists read, we think carefully about what we're reading, paying attention to our understanding, examining pictures and images to consider how they help us understand the text, and we make notes and annotations to help us better understand what we're reading. So today, we're going to be looking at how to use strong active reading skills as we read through a set of articles similar to the hand crank flashlight, and we're going to be looking at what that means as kind of a review from previous readings. So we know that active reading is when we focus on what we're reading and we pay attention to our understanding. To show that we are paying attention to our understanding and connecting with our learning, we make annotations. This is where we ask questions, explain connections, and identify difficult text. So we ask questions, things that we are curious about. We ask those what, why, and how questions. We ask questions about everything from text, titles, labels, and pictures. We explain connections that we see within the text that can be connections to things we've learned in the past, life experiences, and that can also be connections between pictures, text, titles, and labels that come up at different points in the reading. And lastly, we identify difficult text. These are words or vocab words that we don't understand, phrases or ideas that don't make sense, and can come in the form of a question. So it might seem like or feel like we're making more questions, but same idea. So hopefully we remember how to create annotations. We drag across whatever we're wanting to highlight, similar to how we have this section or this title highlighted. We highlight whatever color we want, we hit the comment, and then from there we can add those questions, those connections, or those difficult words and ideas. So similar to what we've done in the past and similar to the readings we've done, we are going to be looking to ask questions. When reading the text, we analyze the images, we analyze the text, we record questions. So for example, in our hand crank generator, we might look at part of the text that says, when the generator turns, it converts kinetic energy to electrical energy, which is then stored in a battery as potential energy. And someone might ask the question, what would happen if the flashlight did not have a battery to store the energy for later? What would happen after that? That's something that we might be curious about or may look to understand a little bit better. As we read, we come across difficult words or groups of words that we don't know. We have to highlight highlight them so we can think about them or look for context clues in our reading. So you might come across a section that says there are a lot of other ways to release kinetic energy. Bouncing, stretching, compressing, and other forms of motion all involve kinetic energy. So here we might ask the question, what do they mean by compressing? What does that word mean? How does our body compress? Maybe that's an idea that is a little difficult or doesn't quite make sense to you, so we can come back to it later. And last but not least, we make connections. So as we scroll through the text, we look at images, we read captions, and we look at the text itself. We record any questions or ideas that connect to our lives or other parts of our reading. So here, when we're looking at this, it says when you turn the crank on the hand crank flashlight, kinetic energy from the body turns the generator inside the flashlight. The kinetic energy is converted into potential energy and stored in the battery, which then can make the light bulb work. So someone might ask a question or make the connection: how might needing to turn the crank interrupt the rescue workers as they do their job? Notice we're making a connection through a question, connecting to our rescue workers. This will be a problem if they're using their hands for their job and have to stop and charge their device. So again, making that connection between how it might be useful, or in this case, not useful, for our rescue team. So take a second. Do we understand how to select an energy device to research in the next set of tasks? Do we understand how to use our active reading skills and annotating while reading the article? Place your X in our survey. If you have questions, reach out, and good luck in your research.